Today we're going to make some pasta and shrimp with garlic. It's going to be so good with a creamy sauce. Stay tuned. Welcome to Happy Healthy Living with Yvonne Douglas. My name is Doug. So we're going to start cooking our delicious pasta with shrimp today. So the very first thing you want to do is get a pot, and we're going to be cooking up some pasta. Now the kind of pasta I'm using today is fettuccine, but you can definitely use linguine, you can use spaghetti with this, but there's something about fettuccine noodles that I just love. So I'm going to be using fettuccine noodles. So I have my uh, pasta pot right here, and the water is about to boil. We're going to cook that up for about 13 minutes, and then we'll start making the delectable sauce. So stay tuned. Now, while you're waiting for your water to boil back there, what can you do? So we're going to be using 4 garlic toes or cloves. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut them up, and I'm going to roughly mince the garlic. Okay, so what I'm doing, some slices, and then I'm just cutting it up. Now, if you mince your garlic, the more flavorful, because you're releasing all those delicious oils that are in the garlic. So keep that in mind. So when you mince it, the more flavorful your garlic is going to be. And like I said, I'm just roughly chopping this up right now. I used to use those garlic press, but I don't know, I stopped using it. I kind of like cutting it up and mincing it myself. Okay. And what else can you do after you cut up or mince your garlic? Get your cheese. We're using Parmigiano Reggiano cheese. You want to use at least 1 cup. Now I am using frozen shrimp. This is deveined shrimp that the tails are off. And so what you want to do is put it in cold water and wait about 10-15 minutes. You don't want the water to just go over your shrimp and run over your shrimp. You just want to soak it like this in the cold water. And that's how we're going to defrost our frozen shrimp here. Now, what size shrimp do you want to use? This is just, the salad type of shrimp. You can use any size you want. If you wanted to use really the large ones, that would probably be a little bit better for a dinner, but this is going to be just a yummy lunch, and I think that's going to be fine. Okay, so the water is starting to get ready to boil. You can tell. This is a new pasta pot that I have here, and what makes it a pasta pot is there are different sections to it. So you have the main pot, then you have this part here that has little holes in it. So when you get the pasta, after it's cooked, you take it to the sink and you just lift it up, and the water, it like drains itself, and which I think is kind of cool. It also came with a lid and a steamer, so you can steam vegetables and stuff. So I thought it was a pretty cool deal. Actually got it on Amazon, and the water is starting to bubble now, boil. So I'm using about half of the fettuccine that was in the box. So it's a 1 pound box. So this is probably about a half a pound, maybe a little less. And I'm going to put that in here. This needs to cook for around 13 minutes. Now make sure that your water is salted. I already salted my water. So you want to salt your water really well. And we're going to add our pasta, let that cook for 13 minutes. I like using my pasta spoon here just to make sure that the strands are separated. Okay, very good. We're going to let that cook for 13 minutes, like I said, and we're also going to take out about 2 ladles, maybe a little bit more of the pasta water, because we're going to be using the pasta water in our sauce. Stay tuned. Okay, so I'm going to take out about 2 or 3 ladles of the pasta water, add it to this bowl here. This is what we're going to use for the sauce. Now, we may not use all of that pasta water, but it's always good to have a little bit more than less. Okay, next you want to get your shrimp that has been pat dry. You want to make sure you pat it dry with some paper towel. And we're just going to add it to this bowl here. Make sure your hands are always clean when you're working with food or baking. All right. And what I'm going to do, I have this sweet paprika that I'm going to use. So I'm just sprinkling this sweet paprika. You can also use smoky paprika. That would be good. And I'm just really covering it well, adding a little salt. And then I'm just going to toss it. Just want to toss that shrimp. Now this shrimp has already been cooked. But what we're going to do is we're going to just put it in a little oil and butter and then take it out. All right. I'm going to add approximately a tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil. And for right now, about a tablespoon or so, maybe a little bit more of the butter. We're going to melt that together. Our fettuccine here is almost done. Has about another minute to go. So I'm just melting that butter. We're going to add that shrimp. Let me give my pasta a little stir. And let me add the shrimp. So we're just kind of coating, warming it up a little bit in the butter and the oil. Maybe let it heat up for about a minute or so. We're going to be adding it back to the pasta, but this is just to kind of warm it up. Okay, it's been about a minute, so what I'm going to do is with the slotted spoon, I'm going to take my shrimp out, just put in the bowl for right now. And my pasta is done. Let me drain it. So I wanted to show you really quick how this works. And as you can see, it just drains the pasta for you. Now I already took out my pasta water, so don't forget to do that. Perfect. See how that just drained all the water out? Really nice. So now for my sauce, I'm going to add about 2 tablespoons of butter, the pan, and this already had a lot of the butter in it before, and that paprika, as you can see, or paprika, I say paprika. I'm going to be using about 3/4 of a cup of heavy cream. Stir that in there. Make sure that the flame is low for right now. We just want to incorporate all those flavors. I'm adding 1 teaspoon of cornstarch. And I think I'm going to use a whisk instead of my wooden fork. Whisk that together. Going to use a wooden spoon now. Notice it's bubbling, so you want to lower that heat. Okay. So now I'm going to add some pepper. I'm going to add some garlic powder. I'm going to add my minced garlic. And just going to stir that, make sure that flame is on low. You can see how nice and thick the sauce is getting. Going to add some of that pasta water. I added that hot pasta water to it. Now I'm putting up the flame to a medium. And we're going to boil that back up a little bit. And it's going to get a little thicker. Depends on how thick you want your sauce. Going to add a little salt. See, it's bubbling. Now I'm lowering it. I'm going to give it a nice stir. Yeah, this is a nice consistency. So I basically used 1 large ladle from that pasta water. That ladle is pretty large. But it's always good to have a little extra pasta water on the side just in case. Now I'm adding the pasta to the sauce. You want to make sure every bit of those fettuccine noodles are covered in that delectable sauce. Mmm, yum. Look at that. Mmm. Mmm. That's really good. Just going to add just a tiny bit more salt because of the noodles and a little bit more pepper. And we're not done yet. Still got to add our yummy. This is our yummy cheese. Remember, that's about a cup. And I'm going to turn off the flame now. And I'm just going to coat those noodles with that yummy cheese, just like that. Add some dried parsley flakes. You can use fresh parsley. I just did not have it in the house, but I'm adding a little bit. And the parsley is really for garnish. It just makes it look pretty. And now we're going to add our shrimp. Look how pretty that looks. This is such a great summertime meal or any time of the year. It could be a nice late spring or early summer meal. Yummy. And that pasta and this sauce is going to heat up that shrimp nicely. You just want to make sure you toss it really well. And now we're going to plate it. Okay, let's plate this yummy, yummy dish. Get a nice amount. And some shrimp. Like I said, this can make a really nice lunch, or you can also have it as dinner. You can add more cheese if you'd like. I'm gonna give it a taste. Really, really good. Excellent. I think you're going to love it. Thank you so much for joining us on Happy Healthy Living with Yvonne Douglas today. Remember, if you want that homey vibe, you need to subscribe, and please give this video a like. Until next time, my friends, happy healthy living. Bye-bye.